Alright, I think I just did leadership roles. One I forgot to mention is athletic PO. It's a really simple job. You just take charge of the warm-ups for a PT. That's all you do. It's really all you do at all. It's just a weird position to have. So if you want to be athletic PO, there's an easy power position. So you can have that on your resume, I guess, at boot camp. All right. I'll talk about awards you can win at boot camp and probably some of the tests. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Now, there are 6 awards you can win. 2 in your graduating class. There's like 690 something, 700 recruits that graduate with each class. And 2 of those 6 award winners was actually in my division. I was one of them. I won the USO award. It was a United Service Organization Award, and that was award number 4. So I was the 4th best recruit. We had the number 1 recruit too in our division. She was a bit anal. She's very. I liked her, but she was kind of annoying at times. Very stiff, but she won the Military Excellence Award. That's number 1. I forgot what the other ones are called, except for the Academic Award. Academic Award comes from scoring the highest amount, the highest averages on all 3 of your academic tests. There's 3 academic tests. They're fairly easy. You get force-fed the information. They're about well, it's not easy if you don't do it, if you don't study the questions they give you, and your RDCs will kind of force-feed you the answers to those questions at certain points through PowerPoint slides. I don't know if they're supposed to, but they do. Ours did, and I heard about a lot of other divisions that did. They'll force feed you the questions, the answers, and stuff like that. First few tests, it's about like ship types and what each ship is supposed to do for ships, planes, like aircraft, stuff like that, submarines. Basically, questions about the Navy. What kind of types of rope, types of knots. You'll still get some chain of command questions in there. So if you know that, you have at least a few going. Caller devices and stuff for warrant officers is also questions and stuff like that. So be sure to study everybody, like every rank, every rate, to know what they are. There's some history questions, naval history questions that go into those tests, and they're divided in the second section. So the first test is 50 questions. You get a hefty amount of questions to study from. There's like 100 possible questions or something like that. And the test is randomized into 3 different tests for that same test. 3 different versions of the same test. So the people sitting beside you will not have the same test, so you can't cheat. That's the basic premise behind it. So you'll take test 1 is 50 questions. Test 2 is 60 questions. It's 50 new questions and 10 questions from the first test. So if you know the material from the first test, you're going to know at least 10 questions in the second test. It could be a little bit more or less depending on the test version, but and you'll get new historical questions, stuff like that. And test 3 is 70 questions. Same deal. You get 10 questions from the previous tests and 50 new questions, so that equals 70. So there you go for the test. And if you score 5.0s on all of them, which someone at Nard, actually my bunkmate did, he scored 5.0s on all of them. But there were 3 other people in our graduating class that did as well. I scored a 4.5 on the first one, which is out of 5. You get score out of 5. I scored a 4.5 on the first one, but I didn't have access to all this stuff because had surgery, like my teeth removed, and I was at SIQ, so I couldn't go over to another barracks and study with the rest of the groups. So I missed out on a couple questions. My second test, 5.0. Third test was like a 4.8. I missed like 2 questions. 4.9. I missed 2 questions. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I was trying to get 5.0s on all of them. That first test kind of weakened my spirits, but my bunkmate got 5.0s on all of them. But if you're competing against other people from other divisions that have 5.0s, the highest ASVAB score actually gets the Academic Excellence Award, which is lame because my bunkmate made a 93 on the ASVAB, and The guy that beat him made a 94, and I made a 95 on the ASVAB. ASVAB isn't that bad if you know what to study. I'll probably make a video about what to study for getting a better ASVAB score. It's very generic, basic concepts in a lot of areas like electric currents and types of tools and wood shop and car parts. Basic math skills. If you know through algebra, you'll be fine. You don't have to know anything too desperately big. And what else is there in the ASVAB? I don't know. But just basic stuff. Let's see. The others, I'm trying to remember what the other 3 awards are. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. One's like military bearing or something like that for being the best soldier looking thing. I thought there was going to be like an athletic excellence award, which there wasn't. There's not. But those 6 award winners get honored separately at graduation. They walk with their division to their spots where they stand for graduation and then fall out to the back and walk out of the room and then walk back into the room and line up in front of everybody, in front of the crowd. I was kind of nervous at first, but it wasn't that bad. Those 6 award winners line up in front, and they get honored by the executive officer of boot camp. But generally it's just the executive officer and like a guest and 2 guests that they just like salute. Oh, thank you, sir, and then walk to the next guy. Oh, thank you, sir, and then walk out. But the Admiral of the Navy, the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Greener, showed up to our graduation. So I got to meet him and hang out in the back of the graduation building and talk. Shook his hand a couple times. The most powerful person in the Navy, besides the Secretary of the Navy. 3rd most powerful person in the U.S. And it's kind of happy. It made me feel proud. He met my parents. He's kind of chatty, and he had like his personal security guards with him. But the Military Excellence Award winner, the female that was in our division, got his challenge coin just handed to him. They shake her hand, and like they have the coin in the hand, and then like they turn it over just to make sure like they get the coin. It's kind of like an honorary thing. The Admiral makes a couple jokes about like, yeah, maybe in 20 years you'll take my job, and it's just very rehearsed, like kind of service back there for the six award winners and their parents. Their parents are allowed in, and there's like a cake cutting ceremony where the Military Excellence Award winner is right beside the Admiral and is holding the sword that freaking cuts the cake. Is a cake with a sword that cuts the cake, and the other 6 award winners are like in a U shape around the sword and just putting fingers on it and slicing through the cakes. And that's all what the award winners do. So maybe you can get an award and get back there, get a picture taken with the 3rd most powerful person in the country. It happens like there's graduations every week or every Friday usually. Yeah, it's every Friday. And he comes to like every 8th one or every 9th one or every 10th one when he makes his rounds. But okay, what else is there? You can get honored in other ways. You don't get honored at graduation for this, but you get like a certificate, and you get award points on your military service record, so it's easier to advance. I got like 2 award points for the USO award. So when I advance, it's like 2 extra points on my test. So I'm in E3. It would go up to get my E4. Like if I didn't pass the test by 2 points, that 2 points would apply to that test and actually make me pass and rank up. But I'll talk about ranking up later. Those are the award winners. You can get honored as most improved recruit, and each division gets honored. But they get honored outside of graduation, and there's like graduation practice, and they invite them back, and they give them like a certificate. It's pretty nice. They give the 6 award winners a plaque and a certificate. But let's see, what else did I talked about the test, talked about the award winners. I'll actually go about what you do like on Sundays. Sundays is holiday routine. I'll throw that on there as part of your schedule for the week. The first 5 hours you wake up from like 06 to 1:13. Actually, it might be less than 13. You're supposed to have free time. Our division did not. I hated that. I watched a lot of videos on here that said got 5 hours to do whatever you want. Take a shower whenever you want, write letters and stuff. Our RDCs planned out our free time, our holiday routine. I did not like that. We were supposed to shine our shoes. We were supposed to iron our stuff. And if we didn't iron our stuff when they were watching, they're like, "What are you doing? We're about to schedule this for you." And it's supposed to be free time for your the recruits. So it depends on the RDCs you get. They could be complete douches about holiday day routine. I did like my RDCs, except for the holiday routine. They said some very outlandish things that made me laugh, but that holiday routine thing got me kind of pissed. But anyways, most people on holiday routine get to take showers anytime during that time for as long as you want. The hot water doesn't last forever, so just keep that in mind. You can write letters, shine your boots, clean your rack, stuff like that. Shave, work on your hygiene a little bit. Because in the mornings you don't have a lot of time to brush your teeth, so you're kind of rushing through it. So holiday routines, a time to catch up if you're letting your dental care go downhill. But let's see. I might go ahead and end this video, then plan the next one. Actually, no. Throughout boot camp, around week 3 or week 4, you start learning stuff that applies to the Navy, like how to tie knots. You'll go and listen to lectures and have some practical applications about how to tie bolted knots and stuff like that, types of ropes. Then you'll, I don't know how much I can talk about this because of title, some kind of form I had to sign. Forgot what it's called now. It was in my brain. But I know I can't talk about battle stations, except like the circumstances around it, like you don't get sleep. You don't get to sleep the day of battle stations, like that night at all. You stay up the entire next day. And then for the only time in boot camp, you get to sleep 10 hours. They let you sleep 10 hours to recover. And then you practice for graduation, and then you graduate. But before battle stations, there's like some mock, like situational training. You get to work with some kind of equipment related to a boat and practice some stuff. You get to go firefighting training. Weapons training was really fun. The second inspection, that's why weapons turnover is talked about, because it's like a prerequisite for actually shooting in the gun range. During weapons turnover inspection, you get to practice actually loading and unloading a gun, like, and putting it in a clearing barrel. If you're comfortable with the pistols, you'll be fine. That's all you shoot in the gun range is a pistol. You have the opportunity to shoot shotgun, but it's not necessary. If they have time, they'll let you. But if they don't have time and the process is taking too long, you won't be shooting. That's not required to pass boot camp. So if you fail, like if you get taken out of the gun range for doing some safety no-nos, they're not going to fail you from boot camp because it's not required that you pass. So don't be afraid. They're not going to ASMO you for that. They're basically not going to ASMO you for anything unless you're being a complete douche. We had 2 people that got ASMO'd only because they didn't do anything they were told, and they talked back and they got ASMO'd. That's all they did. So we had people fail inspections, only passed 1 inspection and still graduated, even though they got threatened like on a daily basis. "I don't like you. I'm going to ASMO you back to P-Days." Bleh. That never happens. But I kind of wanted it to happen to a couple of people. We had one guy that got ASMO'd twice, got into our division, and just talking crap the entire time to everybody. Talked back, acted like a big shot, even though it wasn't that good at all. I wanted him to get ASMO'd one more time and then separated, because I don't think he belongs in the Navy. But and he did something during battle stations that was, I won't go into detail, but it was not cool. But he still got to graduate, and I was kind of angry about that. But in boot camp, you're going to get angry at people. I'll talk about it in the next video. I'll go ahead and end that now. So weapons training, stuff related to boat activities. You're learning how to like throw out lines to moor a boat and what happens with man overboard. protocols for that stuff from week 3 onward. Weapons, then boat-related stuff, and then battle stations is that the last week. That basically covers boot camp. I'll talk about the dynamics of boot camp and on the next video, and probably graduation a little bit, what to expect at graduation, and that'll be it.